Salter.
Yes.
Kate 140.
So don't know how to pronounce.
We'll go with 140.
They dead. They dead. Thank you. They feathered. Anti-radio. The head is good. Kate's the head observer. I'm actually the top of the list.
And you're Doug.
And Bob.
Oh, you're Bob.
Okay.
Kate.
Kate is the head observer.
And do we know how to
Autumn,
pronounce her last name?
No. I need to know how to pronounce Kate and Autumn's last name.
I know.
Can't hear you.
I know Tachi is how you
10! Yes, need to know how to pronounce Kate and Autumn's last name.
140 and Tachi. And what about 140? Kate?
And Kate.
Say again.
Say again. Isabada. Okay, it's not 140, it's Isabada.
Isabada.
You know as much as I do. Upstairs there.
Isabadas? Isabadas? Should I say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or should I start with the head observer? Sounds good.
Head observer today, Kate Isabadas. On the clock, Bob Ransdell. Field observer, Doug Salter. Sideline
found no walkie-talkie to the.
Dude, do you have a walkie-talkie?
It looks like your Oregon Onyx will start on D.
Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another broadcast of the Western Ultimate League. We are going to have a banger of a match for you guys. Oregon Onyx versus the Seattle Tempest. As you can see, we're at Hillsborough Stadium. I'm one of your two commentators today, Jeff Eckstein, and I am joined by Portland Nitro alumni, Jack Carroll. How you doing, Jack?
Great to be here, Jeff. It's my first call of the season. It's the first matchup between two powerhouse teams here in the Western Ultimate League.
Oh, for sure. We are live, actually, so we're going to have to give you a little bit of that hype and build-up in the flow, as it were. But this certainly should be a really exciting match. The Seattle Tempest were the league champions last year.
Right.
So they're looking to repeat that. And a quick bomb down the line going deep. The Onyx is there. Oh, what a D, though.
Abby Hecko with the immediate down-the-line shot doesn't quite get it there, and you got to thank the Onyx defense for being rock solid.
Yeah, Grace Alston there going up high, knocking it down. So Onyx starting the game off with a break opportunity right out of the gates, and that player with the defense
Looks like a bit of contact there.
Yeah, wasn't able to pull that disc down, but contact being called, and looks like the disc will be coming back as a discussion wrapping up here. But I think
Grace Alston, of course, hailing from the state of Maryland. I think this is her first year in Portland. She's still adjusting to the city, but looks like she's doing just fine on the field.
Yeah, she had a strong performance last weekend. Onyx did overall.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, unfortunately, just threw it away right there. So it was a break opportunity. We'll go back to Tempest to try to get a hold here.
And we were talking before the game. It seems like they want to utilize that break side just like they did there to open up that next play, you know, that next shot downfield.
Yeah, Francis Gellert being found in the corner, but then gets that finishing touch to Cassandra Wong. So nice little give and go there.
So, you know, maybe Onyx could have capitalized, taken a little bit more time and patience with the disc, worked it down the field, but you got to think they're happy to have a break opportunity to start the game, whether or not they convert it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, if you're going to have some sort of slip-up, an early break opportunity, not capitalizing on it is, you know, as you mentioned, a pretty good space to get those kind of jitters out and shakiness.
Yeah. So let's talk about the players to watch. Yeah, like some of the players on Seattle at least.
Well, you got Abby Abramovich, number 44, second-year player, big threat on the field, and someone who's got some strong performances for Seattle. Stephanie Phillips, also somebody that the coaches pointed out, a UW alum, new to the league. A lot of new players to this Western Ultimate League. I mean, only really in its second actual year of operation.
Can't forget about Abby Hecko, the Twitter phenom and Lego appreciator. Hopefully less throwaways here after the first point. Oh, and there's another one.
Yeah, unfortunately, Morgan Zajon, as she was cut back towards the disc a little bit to her right. And this season's still just kind of getting rolling. This is the second week of matches. And Onyx did play 2 last weekend, as did Seattle. Both teams going on the road to Arizona, where there was a big, basically replay of championships weekend from last year and a turn as well.
The games are intense for that championship rematch. It was every game was like a couple points. Hard fought all the way down the stretch, really.
Yeah, Onyx did end up with 3rd place last season, which was a great performance for the opening campaign.
Beautiful layout there from Raina Camrat. They call her Sprite because she's got those pops.
She had some really good plays last weekend. And here's Greta now with a shot deep.
Woo!
Oh, just out of the hands of Kristen Roberts. Unfortunate that they couldn't convert there.
Some impressive athleticism on display here from both teams. You got to think, is the wind a factor with some of those pop-up discs? Maybe it's a little bit wet, a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
You've been waiting around, getting ready for your shot. It gets cold out there sometimes.
Ooh.
Especially on your hands.
And looks like a little bit of contact on that D. And Onyx, even though they knocked the disc away, will end up still being on defense here.
Long way to go here for the Tempest.
And our digital scoreboard off a little bit as the Tempest are up 1-0 right now. A big bomb deep. I think it might be a little too big, though. A little too deep.
That was a pretty nice lefty backhand there. Is that Bert? Yeah, Bert Cherry, number 11 for Seattle. Maybe it wasn't to the right cut, but it had a beautiful shape on it and was put in a good spot.
Yeah, Bert, they also had a good performance last weekend. Seattle split the series, both teams playing Arizona and San Diego, while Onyx lost to both teams, as we mentioned earlier. It was closer than their margins of defeat in the playoffs, though, last year. Greta has an opportunity to get Morgan, but, yeah, unfortunately, Morgan was cutting aggressive towards the center of the field. That disc a little bit deep into the corner.
Seems like both teams are using kind of the same third and getting kind of laser focused on trying to get it downfield, and maybe just a couple more of those swings, opening up that break side of the field, kind of changing up the pace of the game. Feels like both teams are a little bit, fired up, intense, ready to go.
Yeah, and it is hard to see on camera or even from our perspective looking on the field, but there is some rain going on today. Yeah. Nothing too crazy, kind of a mild Portland rain, but Seattle, they're going to be used to these weather conditions as well. Good movement from the disc.
Inside
yeah, great.
Break there.
Now a little quick give and go. This is more Seattle's game. Rachel Bradshaw with big throw
Camrat's tracking.
Ooh! Oh. That's might end up in Seattle's hands. Players are going to talk that up. There was a good D opportunity there. But at the end of the day, she did kind of get in the way of the Seattle players' attempt to catch that.
Felt like she was making a jump towards vertical space, and I think that's what she's arguing. But it felt like maybe the disc had already moved away at that point, right? So, maybe let it slide.
Yeah. And there are some kind of rules similar to basketball of, as a defender, whether you're stationary or whether you're moving into that space. And it did look like they were pretty stationary, just jumping straight vertical and got ran into. So the observers kind of coming in, and this is a little bit of a tough call.
You got to think if the disc ends up in Seattle's hands, they're going to be itching to put that in and get a quick two-point lead to start this game.
Exactly, yeah. That would put them right on the doorstep, and the short ball is something that we've seen them do very successfully. Looks like Seattle will pick it up, disc in hand, and play will get reset here. All the players have been just stuck in that red light.
Yeah, as a player personally, it's like this is the moment where you want to get in that end zone space, clog up whatever junk they're kind of, end zone set they're trying to immediately set out there.
Good pressure from Onyx, though, trying to shut this down. There's the fire in, but Onyx is going to disrupt that.
Beautiful D there, right on the inside. Christian Roberts.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout being called as well to kind of chill things out here, which I didn't quite see which team that came from, but probably Onyx, and that is a good time to switch things up.
Right. And so what about some players to watch for Oregon Onyx? Obviously Greta Einsbury's been
right. Yeah, really up there. Yeah, no. General Manager J.C. Jones, number 10, did point out some of the players to keep an eye on this match for Onyx.
Yeah.
A lot of new blood, and that's what she was highlighting. Kind of the trilogy of Acacia Hahn. We have Cyrus Linkfield and Trout Waybright. The three of them, 19 and a half on average. So some real young blood. They're coming out of Eugene. They've been putting a lot of work together down there. The trinity of them have really great experience together, great synergy. That sort of stuff is really important.
Yeah, and it felt like Raina and Grace Alston, Raina Camera, Grace Alston, they were getting involved early too, and they're maybe a couple years older. So we're talking about like a young new core kind of coming into Onyx's already kind of stacked lineup.
Right. Yeah, the second year, so a few adjustments, some players not returning. A lot of new blood, a lot of, kind of looking forward to the future, continuing to, give some of the strong players of this Portland community opportunities to get minutes in and grow.
Tempest is definitely in a zone right now. It looks like Onyx breaks that zone kind of on the far side, but they're holding that zone as they come down the field here. They get to midfield.
And some sort of call here.
Pick on the field.
So they will just take it back a little bit.
Right, so like if the pick involved the player who was then advancing the disc, it's like, okay, well, you can't get that because we got picked.
And they did switch back to that person D, especially with that pick call.
Right, good time to stop in there. Oof. Close there on the sideline. Looking for a cut downfield, not finding it, but a beautiful inside break there.
Yeah, that's Acacia handling it now. And as we mentioned, this trilogy of young players, as there goes the shot up for Trout. Easy catch, beautiful stuff.
I think that's Georgina Tetlow, right?
Yeah, with the
throw.
With the throw and the assist there. Great put by Georgina and Trout. They were able to get into wide open space. So that ties things up. Kind of a slow start to this game.
Definitely some drops, kind of some preseason, pregame, and then into the first part of the game jitters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And now things are starting to feel locked in on both sides, I'd say.
Yeah, still plenty of game ahead. Some of those young players, though, that we mentioned, good to see them getting those swings, getting those movements on that offensive side.
Yeah, I love seeing a program that right out the gate has been dominant and really like a legitimate program. It feels like Onyx, and right off the bat, they're getting young players touches, getting them into the fold. That does a lot for the culture of any team, really.
Right. And, consistent coaching helps out as well. Mike Ferguson returning to lead the team for the second year. Also, Bobby Goff, who just out of the reach of Aubrey Bishop. Tempest should be able to easily put this away. There you go. Great pass in the middle of the field, though, moving up.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're in the game now. We're trading points. People are going to have to step up and make those big defensive plays. Aubrey was just a fingernail, crab's claw away there.
Yeah, they almost got up for it. But, yeah, I was saying Bobby Goff stepping in to be the assistant coach this season. He helped me out in the commentary booth last year, but definitely a big player in the Portland Ultimate scene. And just really great to see all these ladies playing for Onyx, just putting in great work, in the community and, of course, in this WUL league.
And you know, we can't disrespect Seattle. They've maintained their, you know, dominance just across all leagues. Really, it feels like they're always going to have a team in there. And Tempest, of course, the reigning champs here.
And
arsenal of throws there from Greta.
Yeah, great find. Stall count was rising. And looking for Reyna as they cut across the field. Good find. Is a player deep. Reyna, though, chooses to stick it a little bit shorter to Morgan.
Whew.
And Reyna deep. We'll have to get vertical up here, but
why not?
Beautiful throw.
Throw it to the young gun.
And just out of the reach of that Seattle Tempest player, Josie Gillette, sorry.
Those younger players, man, they got unlimited power. They're quick, they're fast, they're youthful, they're energetic.
Yeah. Reyna's got wonderful positioning as well. Like I said, made a big catch and play last weekend. You should go look that clip up. I don't know if the Oregon Onyx threw it on their Instagram, but they should have.
Yeah, and she already had like a bid today.
Yeah, she's playing great.
Sprite be laying her body on the line there. So good to see Reyna get a goal there. Let's see who's pulling the disc for Onyx. Is that Claudia?
Yes, they're D-line out here now. Yeah, I think that is
Claudia Tajima pulling the disc here. The Boston convert.
And a couple minutes left on the clock here in this first quarter. See if Tempest can kind of speed up their offense a little bit.
Well, Onyx is going to try and slow it down. They got 3 or 4 bodies right in the throwing lanes, and it works out for them.
Yeah, just as the player was moving deep for the Tempest as well, now that player's got to hustle back to get on defense. More pink jerseys on this deep side, but as things even out, now Trout getting the disc.
Lots of time for a break. Having trouble moving it off the sideline. Looking her the swing. Here we go.
Great find of J.C. Jones. Now Claudia Tajima with the disc. Again, has plenty of time here.
Wow. What a bid there from Seattle. Goodness gracious. Caitlin Rowling.
Yeah, Cirrus Lingfield now hustling back to possibly get on some defense, but great floaty pass. Cirrus is going to have to keep running, keep playing some D here. Seattle players now in the center of the field, still plenty of options.
Great
defenders
transition
are back.
Defense there.
Oh.
Looks like a timeout being called by Tempest.
The stall count was rising.
Yeah, it's going to be
looked like
there
was maybe a hammer shot into the middle of the end zone there, but wasn't quite willing to take it. But Sam Rodenberg holding on to that disc, and they'll just call a timeout here to reset in the red zone.
I know if I'm Seattle, I'm trying to get it off that sideline first. I feel like a lot of times, especially when you're trapped on that corner, in the end zone, you're going to want, like as a defense, you're going to want to put a ton of bodies right in that, what do you call it? The honey hole, the money spot, front cone. And it's so easy to get tempted to try and force something in there.
Yeah, and Onyx do make some defensive changes. They had the D-line out, but, since they'd already kind of been playing that point full length of the field twice, might as well get some fresh legs out here.
Okay, it looks generally person-to-person matchups. They're just playing hard defense out of the gate.
4-stack in the middle of the field. Now somebody cutting over across. Oh, but the disc gets away. Aggressive throw.
Good person defense just to be right there. Nothing easy, nothing free.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. The disc is going to fall. That's looks like some discussion here. But we'll see which way Aubrey and Onyx kind of push this discussion. There certainly was some contact in there, but it was also just kind of a free-for-all up there.
Yeah, it's feeling like there's sort of these lulls of calm and then these really intense physical plays between the two teams. There's some history, right? We can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
some I-5 history.
Yeah, I was gonna say Portland Seattle history goes deep.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those rivalries that even though that this league is in the second year of its existence, this rivalry is just fiery out of the gates. There's also just all the history of the club teams,
right?
Besides just talking about geography and whatnot. Another short inside pass gets blocked, and it was Stephanie Phillips with the D there, and Onyx having a little bit of problem with just the first throws when getting possessions there.
So the guest goes up 3-2. What is there? 53 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah. And I mean, in terms of timing and rhythm and whatnot, this actually works out pretty well for Onyx. They were on defense to start the quarter.
Right.
So if they're able to just take their time, get another point on the board right now, then they'll end the quarter tied. It's about pretty good.
Right.
Obviously, you'd love to. You could ask. Yeah, you could ask for more.
Yeah.
You could be in the lead, but if you're not going to be in the lead, at least be tied.
Maybe we go for a 2-for-1 here, right? Like kind of basketball style, just quickly get into the end zone and then try and get a D.
Well, I was going to mention maybe for some of the newer viewers of this league, the way this timing is going to work out, though, is if Onyx scores too quickly here, then that'll give the Seattle Tempest an opportunity to get the disc back. If you're holding the disc when the clock hits 0, you get to play it out until there's a turn.
You can't forget about that.
Yeah, if they score too quickly here, they essentially give the Tempest a free shot on offense.
Yeah, it's kind of like all of a sudden the timer runs away and it's back to regular ultimate, back to old school UPA ultimate.
Oh, yeah, they called the stall. The stall will get confirmed.
Called. Wow.
Which, I mean, it got into a desperate situation. Greta kicked the ball over, or the disc, over to Rachel Hess, who had a good snag there.
I mean, it's
Looks
a
like
ball.
Just as quickly.
It's a flat ball, right?
Yeah, it's true. And just as quickly, though, Tempest trying to bomb it downfield. They don't get that in. And a timeout going to be called. Actually, no, excuse me. That was a pick potentially called.
Some discussion downfield and with the observer there. There's 1 second left reading on the clock, but essentially that's, do or die, can't turn it over, right?
Yeah, our digital timer a little bit off of the scoreboard timer. So we are in that do or die situation, though, just for our home viewers' sake. So this is really crucial for Onyx. They need to be able to score an equalizer here. Greta making some cuts downfield. The disc, though, going to go up, going to get flicked on. And play is continuing, but one of the observers has been waving their hands.
Right, because that should have been the end.
Yeah, exactly. End of quarter is done as things got turned over. And
you can definitely feel like they're barely even noticing the clock. It is an intense battle here.
Yeah, both teams very focused on the game, on the ultimate here. And, end of the day, Seattle ends that first quarter up a point. I think that Onyx had a little bit more difficulties than Seattle did, but even saying that, I think Seattle would have actually liked to have a few more points on the board.
Right, yeah. It felt like some sort of not decision errors, just like execution errors, a couple drops, a couple of this. But other than that, like the physicality is there, the patience is there when both teams have the disc and start sort of calming down, taking their time, swinging the disc, looking for that easier throw on the break side.
Yeah, and calm is really important, and would say that was something last year that Onyx sometimes had problems finding those easy dump passes.
Right.
And so if that stall count, gets up there and then you start making plays that, or at least trying to make plays that are not ideal, and then a defender gets in there, your pass just goes off. And we even saw that with Greta being called on that stall violation,
Right.
So it's, again, some of these key fundamentals, Oregon is in there,
Right.
But it's, a cliche, but I mean, it's this game of inches, right?
Totally.
If
and
a disc is an inch away from you, you're going to turn.
Yeah, and so, some of the players, you get, I was on Nitro last year. you get a couple points in, you start feeling warm, you get called off a point. All of a sudden, you're sitting there on the sideline. You're getting cold. You're getting a little anxious to get back into the game. It's really tough, especially when you have a little bit of wind, little bit of rain, little chilly, right? To get back into the game and just immediately be, you know, ready to make that next big play. Sometimes it's tough, right?
Yeah.
And you know, the game's kind of been on a rocky start, but there's been so many athletic plays right out of the gate. So you got to think we're due for some more action here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, again, one of the keys to Ultimate is just keeping it close. You know,
Yeah.
If you're within 1 point, then it's like anything can happen. I mean, that's just a breakaway, or again, just staying with the rhythm here. You know, Oregon scores off this reception, off this pull. We're still in a tie game. There's no worries. But if they get a couple points down to Tempest, then that's when you really gotta maybe worry about, you know, tactics and strategies and some of these structures. The zone defense coming out again. J.C. Jones completely wide open deep, but getting the disc to her is another question.
And that cup was really working. Looks like they're going to contest maybe the run through D. Could have been more of a strip. Ripped through. Someone already stopped rotation on the disc. That's the argument between them.
Hand signal wise, it certainly seems to be what Georgina Tetlow is indicating there.
Yeah.
Like,
I caught
had
that.
the pancake. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's tough because when you're in a cup with 3 people and the person cutting around, you're bound to get into some physical interactions.
Yeah, and looks like that will be sustained, and at least, you know, it was just a strip that was called and confirmed versus necessarily somebody taking an elbow to the face or something a little overtly physical. There's that swing pass, though, as J.C. Jones. Oh, yeah.
Had to toe. A lot to think about there. Control your puppies, catch the disc.
Yeah, it just needed some float on it. Ended up being a little too floaty heading into the heading to the sideline.
So
that
Seattle
will be a turn
with the chance to go up 2 points here.
Yeah, pretty crucial break. Good shot to Abby Abramovich.
The appreciator of the big sky, Abby Abramovich. And a good push pass.
Yeah, good give and go.
Oh, yeah.
And basically just working it down the field with Alexa Kirkland.
Mentally flossing, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's where we see some of those give and go passes for Seattle, just really being able to keep it between a couple players successfully, while of course the other players are running around distracting and, you know, doing all these sort of things. But just the short game and being able to move it upfield.
Onyx crowd trying to get the fans back into it. Onyx, couple other players starting to look at the little body language, heads down.
Yeah, big up to the Rock Club, the Oregon's supporters.
A lot of fanny packs, a lot of gold chains.
Yep. That's the look when you come to an Oregon Onyx game for sure.
You can smell it. You can smell it, that's for sure. But yeah, you got to think they're clawing at the rim of the volcano to get into the game, to erupt.
Right.
Beautiful inside break there. That's a nice backhand shot right through the zone.
Yeah, wonderful cut from Kristen Roberts to get into space there. Morgan Zajon in the center of the field now.
There seems to be a lot of giving free passes, and Onyx can just hit those passes.
Yeah, they're finding the cuts and the movement a lot better in this current offensive push. Ran it
Cam
into the corner. Oh!
Why not go for the third highlight in the last, 3 days?
Yeah, she bit out.
Zevi, you better be watching this. That's all I'm going to say. That's Raina's brother.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay, so 4-2 still.
Always good when you get some family competition, right?
Right.
Got to show up the siblings.
I would love to see Zevi do that, to be honest. Okay, Greta here.
Stephanie Phillips handling the disc. Zajon slipped and was down. give Tempest a little bit more easier reason to move the disc around.
They really did a great job of breaking around onto that backside.
What a beautiful throw.
That break side and exploited it all the way down into the end zone.
Yeah.
Very impressive from Seattle Tempest, and that was definitely the biggest kind of punch one team has given that the other team has not quite.
And a brutal break point. I mean, you know, we
Right.
said at the start of this quarter, 3-2, not a big deal. Now you're looking at 5-2, receiving the disc. And so you're going to have to find some breaks ahead of you and also some ways to disrupt this offense.
Pressure's definitely on.
Yeah, a little bit of a longer pass from the Tempest than we'd seen in some of the earlier plays. But that one for sure, you know, was just beautifully placed. Gellert basically just had to get the feet in the right position and put the hands up, and the disc just fell right to her. Beautiful pass.
Good thing about pressure is it forms rocks, diamonds. It creates geodes.
Right.
It crystallizes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you know, and lava, right? You got to have that that fire, passion burning.
Just
and
like Julia Sherwood does.
Yeah, yeah. What a toss.
That's a pretty nice rip.
Oh, the D is there.
Sandwich defense there. Good kind of gang defense. Multiple Seattle defenders getting on that deep shot.
And Tina Snyder would have loved to have pulled that down. Certainly a gift of a throw from Julia Sherwood after she herself had a wonderful catch. We haven't seen
Bert Chariot puts it up.
Oh, yeah, and Tina can't quite get that D herself.
Great recovery D there from Grace Alston.
Yeah, had to hustle. And it looks like we'll have an opportunity to pick her hat back up as the flow of play goes in the other direction. Leaves it on the ground,
She forgoes it. She forgoes it.
Yeah.
Someone will get that later.
No time for the hat. And Onyx, as they pick this up in a vertical stack here.
Julia Sherwood's been running, you know, Oregon women's matching ultimate for a long time. She's just like a powerhouse out there. South Eugene alumni, gotta say it. Oof.
Eva Pope, good idea there as the stall count was rising to just swing a little hammer in towards Julia Sherwood.
Looks like they're saying the stall was called.
Yeah.
Or talking about it.
One of those things that it just ends up being an issue of where the disc ends up. Won't be a turnover unless she prematurely called the stall, but looks like probably maybe that was the case. Fast stall into a rush throw.
Yeah, they're gonna call it a stall.
Okay, yeah, no. So Tempest get the disc up a little bit early.
Immediately boost.
Yeah, with the defenders locked into place, not too much that Onyx could do about that. Oh, kind of lucky for Onyx, though. They're going to get the disc back. That throw from Josie Gillette a little bit low.
And it felt a little forced, right? Like,
yeah, it was
lots.
a
I
little
mean, maybe the stall count's rising, but you still have time to look back and, right, like find a new angle of attack.
Yeah, for sure. And
beautiful high release throw there.
Yeah, Andrea Jung. Good give and goes from Onyx, but the disc just a little high for Tina Schneider. Has to jump up and reach behind her. Couldn't quite pull it down.
And it feels like both teams have had that, just like those little tiny fingernail troubles today. It just feels like Seattle's gotten a couple more wide open throws into the end zone.
Yeah, and I mean, again, just off of the turns.
Right.
Most of these times, the Onyx players are just in awkward positions.
Transition defense. I got to admit, there was a couple times last season, you know, someone throws something, they don't throw it, you think it's going the other way. I literally found myself like halfway down the field trying to get back on defense. It's hard sometimes, especially at the highest level. You know, players are so quick with the disc and so willing and able to just get it moving. Sometimes it's just nearly impossible to recover.
Yeah, and there was a bit of discussion there. I don't know if that was about whether people were moving before the play resumed, which is something that, you know, you do have to be a bit mindful of. or if there was a discussion about pick. Either way, though, the goal does stand, and Tempest up 6-2 now.
So the reigning champs coming into Hillsborough Stadium, making a little bit of statement early on.
Yeah, making it rain. 6-2.
Making it drizzle, okay? 'Cause it's not, I'm not seeing much rain.
Yeah, I mean, it's still within the realm for sure as the fans try to cheer them up. We've seen some big swings on the scoreboard in the Western Ultimate League. Certainly Onyx are going to need a little bit of that to get back into this match.
And just thinking back to championship weekend, you know, you had very close games in almost every game. There was definitely times when people were up 3-4 breaks, but you know, it's a throwers league, it's a scorers league.
Good cuts from Onyx, opening things up here.
Yeah, their systems have looked great all day. They've been wide open all day. It's just been throws and catches.
There we go.
There's one.
That was a beautiful one for Kimber Coles. Kimber had a lot of goals this last weekend. Big score for Onyx. Now getting found in that corner. Beautiful throw.
C. Hill, you know. Got Churchill alumni. We got South Eugene alumni. The Eugene to Portland pipeline is strong. It's alive and well here at Hillsborough Stadium.
Yeah, certainly a couple players here from Eugene, and that's one of those things that just helps strengthen the Portland Ultimate scene. You know, this extra city of talent.
Right, and it's
that's
hard.
really not that far away, but
it's hard sometimes, right? Like a couple hours away. How do you string together practices? How do you get everyone committed? How do you get everyone bought in?
Right,
and
yeah, I mean,
Onyx,
has pros, has cons.
Right, and Onyx feels like they're, you know, succeeding at that. They're pulling in really great talent. They're building a culture. Let's see if they can build a couple more points here. 4:48 left in the half. And
Tempest 3 wide on that back line, but looks like the pressure and trying to push the disc forward gets to him. Onyx now with the disc. Georgina handling here.
Thinking about boosting.
Good
Multiple
little swing to
thinking
Tajima.
about boosting to J.C. Jones.
Wow. Ooh, yeah, Acacia Hand does find JC. She's just going to roll with it. Wants to get the action rolling again. No discussion there about any violations.
Beautiful break reset.
Ooh. Yeah.
A lot of contact.
Georgina kind of getting bumped into there. Sure, we'll just have a quick little reset of what the stall count's at.
And I'd say, like, knowing Georgina, that's some really great mark manipulation. It's, you know, while it feels tough to be stuck in that position, but unless you're standing there completely still on defense, it's not, you know, it's not a foul on the offense. It's always going to be a defensive foul.
And that was a great throw to Acacia Han. She was trying to link up with Sirius Linkfield, who, you know, as we mentioned, they have a lot of chemistry there, but just a little bit disconnected.
Looking for a dump here. Can't find it.
Oh.
Oof. Good defense there. Everyone's sticking their person close.
Oh. Yeah, want to rewind it back a little bit there. Really great D by Waybright, number 72. Trying to stick their hand in there to disrupt that play. At the same time, the other D-line members were just kind of keeping those deep options on lock, not available for Tempest. So eventually that ended up with a missed throw. And Onyx, good squeeze pass in there. Oh, did have some options deep, but pulls it up. Now a shorter forehand to Trout. Trout's going to whip it open, though. And unfortunately, though, that disc didn't quite fade right.
And Claudio Tajima has just been anchoring this point, I would say. Like, throws-wise, defense-wise, just kind of everywhere she needs to be. And at least me personally, I'm thinking, okay, let's stop throwing it deep. Let's work it down the field. Our cuts are working great.
Yeah.
Our defense seems to be working great if you're Onyx as well.
Yeah.
Can Seattle break through that zone again? That's what they've been doing, is just going to that far side and trying to poke around it, and it's
Oh.
almost working every time.
Great D, though, by Onyx. Super awkward for Cyrus Linkfield. You know, was just trying to get a hand in there from behind, but also above all else, trying not to commit a foul. And thankfully didn't commit a foul, and the pressure was enough to disrupt the play. And, yeah, it looks like a timeout called.
Is that Onyx timeout?
I believe so.
I like it. Regroup. Get on the same page.
Yeah, a minute 43 on the clock. You know, again, speaking to how that clock operates, you know, an optimal situation, you score pretty quick here. And then Tempest has this kind of awkward, like, do we just pass the disc around for a minute 15?
Right.
Or do we score and give them a shot, you know? So Onyx, time-wise, with this disc control, if they can get a point on the board, should be a good opportunity to end this half strong. But I think they need to find the balance. It seems like, you know, just finding the comfort and synergy with their handlers.
Right.
As you mentioned, maybe don't go deep as much. But then again, like if you
It's
can
been
hit that
open
pass,
too,
yeah, if you can
right.
hit that pass, then you can kind of stretch out that defense more and force them to cover those players like J.C. Jones, who gets downfield, gets open. You know, Cyrus Linkfield was trying to make some aggressive runs. You also have Reyna, who's just been like in these open positions deep, you know. But at the same time, there's that tough balance of having the deep cutters, but also having, you know, dump targets for your handlers, right, that are pretty comfortable.
Right. If I'm Tempest, I'm putting everything I possibly can into getting a very quick turnover here.
Yeah. And the vertical stack will find Tina Snyder.
I mean,
now,
obviously we always want to do that, but if
Yeah.
they can pressure and really, you know, put a cap on a pretty impressive kind of powerful play here.
Julia Sherwood with that power backhand. It is going to
gonna
fade
hang
back
up.
in bounds. Reyna, good
God, they're-
positioning.
You're doing such a good job, Seattle, of bringing multiple defenders. It
Yeah.
creates a little bit more contact on the play, but, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, great throw in Reyna. Reyna a little bit on the shorter side of players on the field. At the same time, though, you know, she deserves her space to make an attempted catch.
Yeah.
And looks like they're going to turn it over to the observers as a decision can't be made by the players on the field. But that did look a little bit better from Onyx. You know, Greta kind of ran back for the dump as the stall count was rising. And then as soon as Greta got it, she was able to kick it over to Julia Sherwood. And then Julia Sherwood with a very well-placed bomb into the backfield.
Yeah, it felt like maybe the first time they had run a vertical stack, Onyx.
Yeah, I think we saw it once before, but short-lived.
Right, but it was in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah.
I would assume most of the time running more of like side stack, isolation downfield. So an interesting switch up.
So it does appear like Onyx will be gaining
So it's
possession.
contested, right? So it's contested foul right on the front of that.
Yeah,
end zone.
exactly. So they've gained possession of the disc, but not in the end zone yet. Now looking to fire it in there. There you go. That's going to be Tina Snyder, which we
So
haven't mentioned yet.
that
Is
was-
her birthday.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Her birthday. It's a birthday.
It's a birthday.
Go, Tina. You know.
Yeah, and
Like,
that wasn't like the
that's thing,
flashiest of points, but that's the kind of point that you need to see more out of
Right.
from Onyx,
That
right?
felt like needed, like
Yeah.
vital. Like if they did not convert that, they were clawing at it for the contested foul. They needed it,
Yeah,
and they got it.
yeah. Very
Can
much
you know?
needed.
Can they come down here and make this a completely different second half? It kind of reminds me of the March Madness that's going on.
Yeah,
you know,
a
you
lot
go down 15 points at halftime. That's a lot harder to come back. You know, when you have two great teams going at it.
Yeah.
So
A lot of upsets been happening in March Madness, and certainly if Onyx could get a defeat against Tempest here, it would be in that category. Right now, though, Tempest want to get another point on the board. Our clock underneath a minute here.
yeah, I mean, just two stacked teams really going at it this first half. There's been some physical play, some big hucks. It's not going to go. Good defense there from Grace Alston. That throw got away from the thrower a little bit, but
really great opportunity for Onyx
yeah,
here, as
seriously.
we mentioned.
So this is everything Onyx has dreamed for the last
12
15,
minutes.
20 minutes. They have loftier dreams than that, though.
Yeah. Good find from Julia Sherwood to get this offense started.
Grace Alston
and
with
then
the catch.
Yeah, wonderful. Make sure to put 2 hands on it. Really control
what
it.
a bid there on
Wow.
Aubrey. Looking for some recovery defense.
And
oh my gosh! Aubrey Bishop does this once a game, I swear.
What a hand block. That was incredible. Crowd blew up. Now we got a big bid from Julia Sherwood.
All of a sudden the momentum is, whoa, but another momentum shift. What a crazy point. Shouldn't that be the end of the?
No, we're close.
Oh, so
it still had a
now
little bit of time, but
so
now
it
we
happens
are
to be
in
Tempest position. Oh, possession.
And I misspoke. That was Andrea Jung with the big layout to keep things alive. But
man,
we
this,
did have
this point is like, who wants it more?
Yeah.
I'm still kind of shook off that Aubrey Bishop
yeah.
It fired me up.
And they need to stay fired up here, get a block.
Inside.
Oh, that clean give and go from Seattle.
Yeah. Too easy. And that's been their game, right? They've been slicing and dicing on the break side.
Yeah.
Just basically trying to escape Onyx's rock-solid defense. So
yeah, very well executed from by Seattle at the end of that half there. Unfortunate for Onyx, they seem like they've been on the precipice of greatness, but instead kind of stumbling. Still some
rumbling,
strong plays.
tumbling, stumbling down.
So still strong plays, though, from the Onyx players, and we're very hopeful that they can tighten this game back up in the second half. Either way, it's been some great ultimate frisbee. Once again, I'm Jeff Eckstein, joined by Jack Carroll. We got a fantastic production crew working with us today, but right now we're going to take a 10-minute break for halftime. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back soon. Seattle up 7-4.
We were having like a tap house. Like, you can hear us. Go up. Type in deluxe. I can hear room like it's like a little bit of like one of those games on just try to keep it slow. It's like a cube run. me, I've noticed when I follow a player running the opposite, the problem is that everything follows a bit, so I'm always on the right like page.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to the start of the second half. We got the poll out already. Portland on defense once again. Oregon. As we do have some Eugene players out here. Oregon Onyx down 4-7 right now.
Never forget about Eugene, Oregon.
Once again, Jack Carroll joining me, Jeff Eckstein, here in the booth at Hillsborough Stadium. As Seattle stringing together some passes. Now going to go deep here.
Hecko with the OI shot.
Oh, great edge on that.
With the dance moves after, too. She's feeling good.
A little shimmy. You should after that. That was a great combination by the Tempest.
Abby Hecko said, Lego.
Yeah,
Tempest.
We'll see that on the replay here. Yeah, that was a great toss by Abby Hecko. And, well, going to find Cassandra Wong in the backfield.
Abby Hecko, of course, one of the most popular Twitter presences of Ultimate or Disc Golf. Not mentioning Brody Smith or anything.
Yeah, there's a good scene for that online. Of course, check out the Oregon Onyx's Instagram. Quick shout out to their brother organization, Portland Nitro, who have finished their tryout process and have their roster set for their upcoming season.
Should be a good year for the Nitro.
Yeah, it'll be great. Quick on that topic, we do have another Onyx home game April 2nd coming up in not too long. And then their final home game of the season will be May 5th, which will be the debut, the kickoff of the Nitro season. So we'll be looking forward to those home games in the future.
And honestly, Providence Park has become like beautiful block there. Is that Bert? Bert with the hand block.
No, number 27, that was Julia Snyder, who's got the disc again here.
Swinging it off the sideline.
And Oregon playing kind of zony. There is a player open wide in the corner. They'll have to find a different angle here, though, as Tempest have been able to move it up the line.
Trapped on the sideline. Big shot over the top. And it'll work out.
Yeah, perfectly placed. Shot to the corner a little deep.
Felt like they were only working in about 1/3 of the field there at the end of that possession. And it ends up, it almost felt like it kind of tired them out, right? Like,
yeah,
just continuing that little weave on the corner. Got to go and bring the rest of the field into it.
It was a break chance for the Tempest, so they'll be content with that. Push the Onyx offense all the way back to their end zone. Ooh,
Scoober
great.
there.
Yeah, that was a great scoob. Now Kimber Cole's found in the middle of the field, going to find Reyna again after that scoober, making good cuts upfield. Now some good short ball here, though, from Onyx as Greta getting it off the bounce. Now Morgan Zajon.
And I feel like that's the difference right there, why they're on the goal line right now. They say, Greta Mobetta. Watch your face for the kick spike there. Okay, good spirit.
Yeah, really good weave offense from Oregon there.
Right, yeah, like a couple times they had the opportunity to shoot something deep. And then they said, no, let's work it up a couple more shots.
Yeah, and it was basically Kristen Roberts with Greta Eisenbray and Morgan Zajon, the three of them just kind of weaving it upfield. And I think that's where you got to have that combination of the deep threats and the short game, you know, that can kind of stretch out this Seattle Tempest defense, which has been proven to be pretty formidable today here.
Greta's just a dominant, tongue out like Jordan performer, dancing, having a party,
styling,
and making huge plays. Don't forget that.
Yeah, one of the captains of the team, a fan favorite as well. Hear the support from the sidelines for them. She was awesome for him last year, and I'm sure going to be a huge player for him again this year. Now Seattle with good short play here. Oh.
See, yeah, like dink dunk, looks to swing, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, Cheryl Sue, definitely a key player for Tempest, trying to maybe get a hand in there. Now a foot.
Really, really good recovery defense.
Yeah.
Little makeup D.
Really good job marking the handler.
Tajima. Wow, they're bidding all over the place.
Great find to get Rachel Egan there, though, because the easy swing passes were getting blocked down from Tempest. Yeah, nice find.
Take what's given.
To Acacia Hahn.
Beautiful off the sideline. Why not another?
Yeah, Georgina now over to Claudia Tajima. She's got to find the finish.
Look how easy
there
that
it is.
That's really easy. It's really, really easy.
Yeah.
If you swing it off the sideline. Wow, that was beautiful.
And I think that they didn't necessarily give themselves too many options for the dumps and the swings.
Throws.
But at the same time, they just connected and hit every single one of them. So
just silky smooth throws all the way down.
Yeah, and Cyrus pretty happy about that score. 8-6 the score now, so Onyx have been able to tighten the gap here.
See some players on both teams on the line, like crossing their arms, a little chilly, a little cold. See how that plays into like throws and catches on this point.
Yeah, that rain still barely streaming down here.
It's like it's supposedly March, but it could just as well be October here in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. Great passes from Tempest. Could go deep.
Lefty inside. Oh, Grace!
Oh, wow.
Grace looking for the Sports Center top 10 play.
That could have been on there for sure. As Grace was going up big to look for that defense. Nice pass, though. To find Stephanie Phillips with the score. Tempest kind of had to work hard, though, for that.
Yeah. Definitely feeling kind of more like those first couple points minus, you know, the slowdowns from long talks on foul disputes or, you know, contested calls.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of those early kind of drops are starting to dissolve away. And now you have, like, just two teams stacked from top to bottom on their roster, going at it. We're talking like the difference between Grace making that insane over-the-top play is like, you know.
That was a good find from the Seattle Tempest, though, as well.
Yeah, totally.
As that player making the cut, like, you know, was going to go right, decided to switch shoulders, go the other side, and the handler just read that perfectly and then put the disc on a dime, so. Greta hits the swing and then just starts booking it upfield.
Looks like it was a set play, but.
Yeah, a little bit of a disconnect there. I think that they were maybe expecting another cut in the middle. So the turn has happened. Big bomb from the Tempest now. Beautiful backhand, but a little high and a little misjudged
Felt
by
like
the
that's
receiver,
what
Rachel
the disc has
Bradshaw.
been doing. Right when you expect the disc to be at its target, it pops up just a little bit. There's kind of like a swirly wind played in here a couple times. Just like any stadium.
Yeah,
right?
like
you have like a swirly.
I was going to say Seattle's Memorial Stadium
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
is definitely well known for that. Oh, unfortunate. The swing from Greta did necessitate a bid, a layout from Rachel Hess.
So now we're red zone situation. This would be huge for Tempest, and they make it easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy, really.
Yeah. Leah Baron Simmons getting that catch, that finish.
Kind of maybe even just like between quickly tapping the disc in and just like a miscommunication, like a communication breakdown.
Right,
one of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts out Led Zeppelin, I guess.
Yeah, they rock. They rock.
They do. They do.
We like rock.
I guess we're fans of rocks.
Yeah.
We're okay with rain, rocks.
Yeah.
You know, any element.
Yeah. Roller
really.
derby is also cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What happened to the roller derby scene? I'm happy because the ultimate scene is alive and well, and that's what really counts.
Yeah, and no faking it here. No scripted outcome.
No scripted outcome.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We really don't.
Sometimes it seems scripted when, you're holding 19-19 in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden you lose 22-20 unexpectedly, which is what happened to the Onyx when they played the Seattle Tempest last year.
Right.
The conference format a little bit different this year in the WUL. So last year they just played everybody once.
Okay.
But this year now with Colorado,
big boost.
Big Trout's
Wide.
swimming up field. Got it.
Okay, now we need a recovery.
Yeah, Rachel
recovery
Egan,
option.
maybe in there. They're gonna
Super
need
dump. Super dump.
Yeah,
there it is.
They needed to get rid of that disc.
Good fakes there from Tetlow.
And might be able to find Trout again. Does need to find a target. Really good runs from Onyx, trying to provide targets in the end zone, but also Trout getting wide to get that dump opportunity. Georgina, good swing over here, not going to be in the end zone.
And Seattle's they're running down almost every pass. If there's any float on it, they're making bids.
Nice.
Look at that inside shot.
Yeah, Trout, they're going to get
easy.
their second point of the night. And, Waybright, was a big part of that play getting downfield anyway, so fitting that they're going to get the score at the end of that play.
So 7-10, Onyx down, 5:58, third quarter. Sorry if the time is different on your screen, but there is 6 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and as I was saying, conference a little bit different. So how it's working this year is you have 2 divisions of 4 teams in the WUL.
Yeah.
You play 2 games against people not in your conference. So
and so does that include that weekend that just happened in Arizona?
That's actually what just happened.
Right.
Was both of those teams are in the South Conference. I forget actually what the name of the divisions are. So both of these teams already played their out-of-conference opponents.
Right.
How it'll work now is that they'll play a home and an away game against each of the teams in their conference.
And Arizona definitely in that little round robin, Arizona really looked like they reloaded this year. Yeah. So the Sidewinders are definitely kind of one of those other teams to watch.
Also, major point of that is that these teams will face each other again, but at that Seattle stadium. And then the Utah Wild and the Colorado Alpengold.
Nice
Glow,
poach
the
D
other
there
teams in that conference. Yeah, great poach D. Oh, no. Julia Sherwood couldn't quite get in front there. Now Stephanie Phillips finds a pass downfield. Francis Gellert.
Timeout
called. Tempest threw it downfield anyways, which will get a ceremonial smackdown by Andrea Jung, but...
Yeah, so both teams, it feels like when they get off the sideline, it's so easy in ultimate to just throw it down the force side, right?
Right.
You throw it down the 4 side. Those are all open passes, especially when this wind is the way that it is. That's even hard enough to make sure, that Seattle player isn't chasing that down and doing that. So then you get to, 3/4 of the field, and we're seeing both teams kind of getting stuck there. So my first, thought when I see the disc on the sideline here, knocking on the door of the red zone, can they advance the disc off of the sideline easily? Is their downfield looks off of that? And as a defense, you might be thinking, okay, we're not going to allow the swing. And so then, number 28 here, number 38 for Seattle might be that first look.
Rachel Bradshaw.
If the swing isn't there to Burt.
We'll see here. Rachel Bradshaw does go into the corner. Was able to kind of cut away, but did go for the swing.
Ooh, beautiful little lefty. Wow, it didn't end up working out, but that was some really, really interesting handler movement there from Burt Cherry.
Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't quite get the full chemistry there with Julia Snyder. We'll give the disc back to Onyx.
So lots of time in the quarter.
Oh,
a lot of miscommunications on this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one. Again, Andrea Jung faked a big backhand downfield and then was turning to throw to Aubrey Bishop, but they weren't quite where they expected them to be. Just trying to make a quick no-look pass. Oh!
Aubrey release swill.
Yeah, and good D from Aubrey. She looked like she was going to cut in, but then, knew she didn't have it, but the pressure was enough.
Once again, working it down the sideline.
Oh,
there's a
Sherwood.
Beautiful
Beautiful.
Throw. Oh, wow.
Oh!
Good shape, but just not quite enough. And once again, I think the wind playing a factor on this point. People are getting tired. There's miscommunications. So it's really feeling like, at this point, this is an important point in the game.
Yeah.
Tempest going up 11-7 here would be a statement.
Yeah, and I think that's in some sense. Ooh, wow.
Nice
wow.
help D there from Sherwood.
Great throw off the recovery. Has a wide open player, just has to find the right angle. And, receiver just runs onto it.
So
beautiful work by the Tempest.
You can't deny that that's huge for Seattle Tempest here. Pushing that lead up to 4 points. We're coming close to the end of the third quarter. 3:25 here left.
Yeah, Jennifer Rika Urta, great pull down there at the end of that. Just good synergy with their teammates. And I think what I was saying before there, it's like Onyx kind of making this hard on themselves.
I totally
agree. You don't need that extra pressure,
Totally agree. And I think a lot of the times it comes down to trust. If you have trust in your other 6 players on the field, your assignment. Your assignment is your person. That's not to say that wasn't a beautiful attempt at help defense by Julia. I thought it was. I just think we're seeing a couple trust issues, whether it be miscommunications on the field.
Yeah, and I think some of that too is tied into new personnel, new season, because also sometimes this sort of circumstances, you need to really get the fundamentals down. I think Onyx today have really shown that in these tough positions they can come away with W's.
Totally beautiful shot there from Greta.
You just don't always need to do it.
Wow, what a D there.
That was beautiful D by Cheryl Sue.
Cheryl Sue really kind of anchoring this team in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Handling the disc, handling downfield threats like that.
And we're going to have some more downfield pressure there as Tempest players were making some threats downfield. Here's Cheryl with the disc again. Finds a good target. Not going to be in bounds, in the end zone. Is still in bounds and has a drop behind.
Oh, nice attempt on a D there. And that's just like beautiful vision there to see, okay, we're not being able to move it off the sideline. We're stuck pinned here. Who can I hit? and she finds an open receiver with a defender whose back is turned. That's just that's like almost the equivalent in basketball when you like inbounds it off someone's butt to get it in, right?
Yeah, Rana tried to make a good defensive attempt there, but it was just kind of a stride off that player. But Tempest doing a good job of moving the disc, but then also finding that open player at the end of the offense.
And it feels a bit like Tempest now feels like they're in control. They're smooth, that feeling of confidence when you're kind of quickly going through points, quickly going through your sets and your lines. The hope for Onyx, hey, we get back in this game with a couple solid O points.
Yeah.
And we go play some defense. Don't make it so easy for Seattle down the stretch.
Right. I think as well, it's a good time to make sure that your systems are working.
Totally.
And I think that's where, too, it's important to maybe just focus on the easier plays instead of trying to get too fancy here.
Take what's given. That's
good movement.
That's an insanely nice flick break there.
Yeah. Trout
positioning. Wow, beautiful shot there.
Yeah. Beautiful backhand fade by Trout Waybright, connecting with Cyrus Linkfield. One of those kind of young connections in Nitro that we were pointing out. The trinity of players, them plus Akeisha Han, a lot of history together.
Right. Yeah, and you bring up a good point that, hey, this is a new team. I'm sure there's some iterations of that on Seattle, although I would say their sort of star cast looks relatively similar. Onyx, it has some new core members, and making sure your plays and your sets are all tuned in to where, you turn the corner and that next play is going to be there. That takes a couple games. That takes a couple times.
And I think really getting synced in with your handlers as well, right? Who are those players that you're going to be looking for a bomb from them, that you can make that deep cut, know that they're going to hit you, or players that you just know are kind of part of that weave and that slow build upfield.
Julia Sherwood. Why did I do that again? Dang it. South Eugene alumni, friend of my sister's, honestly. So
yeah, she's got some bombs.
It's embarrassing that I messed up her last name. Sorry, Julia. Your sunglasses are cool most of the time.
Yeah, she's got some bombs. She knows how to handle the disc. We haven't really seen it flow through her too much.
Big D there.
Beautiful stuff from Tina Schneider. Birthday girl coming in, cut that disc out. Jung with the disc. Now going up, trying to find Schneider. The defender bumps into her a little bit, but that's not going to stop the catch. Tina pulls it down, gets another one on the scoreboard for herself.
That's huge. And in terms of momentum for Onyx, they needed something the crowd could get behind.
Yeah, for sure.
All of a sudden, that 4-point differential feels a lot different when you have momentum on your side.
Yeah, certainly.
The lava's flowing.
Right, yeah, exactly. Makes it more obsidian,
Because it's not lava until it comes out of the rock
of
the volcano.
Yep.
Right, they've had some magma in there for a while, but they gotta get explosive out here.
Yeah, we've heard some rumblings. We'll see where it goes, but it certainly looks like maybe things are on the cusp of blowing up. Just a little over a minute left on the timer, though, for this third quarter.
So a little poachy, but generally it looks like a person defense.
And good swings by Tempest, pushing things upfield.
That's an important throw right there.
Yeah, they do have to dump
Big
it back
swing.
to midfield.
Now let's see if Onyx can get some pressure here.
Yeah, Sue can't find anything deep. Just resets the stall by swinging it, which Tempest continue to do. Nice forehand, though. Oh, yes.
Big D there from
Little
Cyrus.
floaty. And Linkfield just gets right in there to break that link.
So 19 seconds or infinity if they hold on to the disc here for Onyx, right?
And,
Oof.
No.
Turns it right back over.
I was going to say it. I didn't even have to say it. That
Commentator's thinking curse.
Yeah.
It's a psychic.
And unfortunately for Onyx, I feel like they've had some times where the score line gets a little bit blown up just because some of these end of quarter scenarios where, you know, if you had held onto the disc for 15 more seconds, they wouldn't have this opportunity to score.
Totally.
You know, whether your own offense was successful or not.
And, you know, we've been talking about younger players. Mental toss, Fly Coons, alumni, Abby Abramovich. She'll be drinking out of Larry very soon.
Yeah, good job from her getting that open position in the corner. Able to just kind of find that throw, find that space, and we'll get another point on the board. So we'll take us into our break before the fourth quarter. 13-9 is the score. And certainly been a great game so far for the Western Ultimate League.
So after 3 quarters, Seattle Tempest up 13-9. We have some raffle tickets to read off. And if you get your raffle ticket selected, if you win the raffle, you can go to the merch table to pick that up. Here are your raffle numbers. For the first one, 6991739. I'll read that again. 6991739. You are a winner. Raffle ticket number 2. 74561214. I'll say it again. 74561214. And your final raffle ticket winner, the number is 7132432. 7132432. If you won, go to that merch table. And I don't know about y'all, but I smell something. Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
Thanks again for joining us here today for this Western Ultimate League matchup between the Seattle Tempest and the Oregon Onyx here in Hillsborough Stadium. First home game of the Oregon Onyx 2023 campaign. We'll have one coming up in a couple weeks, April 2nd. And then their final home game will be a doubleheader on May 5th. Well, we're certainly excited to see them back in town. But we got one more quarter of action for us today. Jack, any thoughts as we head into this last quarter?
Oh, just watching what everyone's watching at home. I mean, Onyx is firing up the magma pool. They are ready to get back in this game, and I'm excited for it. I've had a wonderful time here watching this game with you, Jeff.
Yeah, we've had some good moments for sure. Some clips I look forward to seeing on the Instagram, on the social media, as just good bids, good catches, good throws.
That's
Beautiful.
what you get when you play Ultimate. You get a bunch of awesome highlights.
Yeah, especially at this level, right?
Bunch of athletes.
And Kimber Coles.
You get to see Kimber Coles on the sideline.
Yeah.
Looking
Usually,
for Reina. Oh,
she pulls it down.
She got it. She caught it.
Oh, and then Greta just keeps on running upfield. Needs to recover to find some of these players who are still open. There it is to Morgan Zajon. What an offensive run by the Oregon Onyx there.
That's a sequence.
Yeah.
That is a sequence. Crystallized, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's something that we need to see a little bit more of. You know, Kimber Coles is someone who makes a lot of cuts downfield, gets open, but you need some of those players to also come in, get the disc, and then just kind of help that momentum keep rolling. Greta as well, you know, kept that run going after that throw to Reina, you know, got dug out, which was a fantastic catch.
Yeah, Kimber really has been an anchor.
Yeah, I was going to say a talisman.
Yeah,
right?
a talisman, a big marquee element to
Yeah.
the success of Schwa and Onyx. And it's one of those things where, like, if you see the disc running through some of your best players' hands, in positions where, hey, there's more people down the field that I can make a play with. Get the good players the disc in your hand, and good things will happen.
Yeah, for sure. Tempest.
Abramovich breaking the zone. That was too easy of a zone break. Oh, look
wait.
at that recovery.
Yeah.
And that's like the easiest time in a zone to get a D is right after it's broken, right when everyone's on offense says, oh, the zone's broken, everything goes. Then it's like, okay, well, I'm still here. So.
Oh, yeah. Caitlin Rolling for the Seattle Tempest really did a good job of just kind of making that aggressive cut downfield. She was the closest defender to that pass that I think both of the receivers for Onyx were a little unsure which one of them that was actually for. But we are going to get another turn. So
and Onyx needs to capitalize.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of these turnovers that result in just a really quick turnover on the other side for Onyx. Got to be able to control the disc. Got to move it down the field. Their zone has been working so well, Seattle.
Oof.
But if we can break it, if Onyx can break that zone and get the disc moving, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
for them.
They have broken out here a little bit as they were getting really pressured in the backfield. Grace Alston, though, on the 20-yard line, catches it. And good swinging again here from Onyx. Jung's going to be able to push it forward a little bit more to Snyder.
Looks like Grace Alston called a foul there on number 25. There's just like between all of the swings in that zone, there's been some bump and grind between the players. So it looks like they're kind of discussing how much bump and grind is okay in a zone for a handler.
One of those things too that unfortunately it ended up kind of being advantageous to Onyx to keep that rolling, but you just never really know how that's going to go, and you got to speak up for yourself in these player officiated.
Yeah, it's a good
sport.
point. It's one of those situations where, hey, this Seattle zone has been working. It's been stifling the offensive pressure. Looks like a no contest foul there.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Almost looked like a hand block of some sort, but
right.
Looked
like it was an arm block, right?
The amount of pressure that Seattle has put on, with their zone, and how much it's been working, it really changes the feel of the rest of the offense. But like you said, maybe you just go with it. If you're in a situation where you're feeling fouled up.
Yeah, the zone definitely has been kind of stifling things for Onyx. Just not really easily able to dump or swing and keep the possession rolling. And that kind of ends up forcing them to maybe throw it deep. And, they've had some good deep passes, but also there's always a risk there.
Yeah, I think a big emphasis that could be even being chatted about in the huddle is like, if that second, third option is not available when a zone really collapses and you're getting high up in the stall count, clearing out space for a person, instead of standing there saying, hey, I'm open, please throw me the disc, clearing out space so that next cut has a lot more working room can be the difference, I feel.
Yeah, certainly.
So this is kind of like a must-have point for Portland, right? 13-10, they're down. Portland is down. Just under 9 minutes.
Off the vertical stack. Julia Sherwood first. Now Georgina going big. To Kimber Coles. Disc fade, though, a little bit off. Gets away from her.
Same third hook, but I liked the placement of the disc.
Yeah, would have just been a little bit too much for Kimber's wheels. She's certainly got some speed, and wow, big huck. Speaking of wheels, that would have taken a pair, but it was a good attempt for sure. The player did have a stride on their mark.
So Greta's going to pick up. Looks like they're back to a vertical stack, which honestly I felt like they had a lot of success getting open in the vert stack. Kind of spreading that field horizontally just like that.
Yeah. I think that was smart to just set right up into that vert stack off the turn. And Greta with a good find. Kimber's not going to go deep, so Onyx playing a little bit of a shorter ball game right now.
And it's
Good
working.
find.
It's working.
There's the big throw. And Greta's, oh, yeah, that was a tough one to judge.
You know, don't stop doing something if it's working. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Especially with the wind. You know, a lot of these hucks have been kind of floating, getting out of the reach of the targets. Oof. Almost a blindside left-handed hand block there from Greta.
And Tempest have been able to find these deep targets. They do so again right now. Number 10 running onto it. That's going to be Lexi Garrity. And, well, did need to
really
turn the speed
throw
on. But, yeah, exactly, was spotted. And that was kind of the throw that Onyx were looking for.
Right.
And has been a little bit missing from their arsenal today.
Yeah, I think part of it is coming down to the force. I'm not exactly sure if that was a break side throw. It looked, but realistically, it feels like if you're able to break your force, you have such an easier shot, especially to that other side of the field, just for a nice, you know, open and easy huck. That, you know, just like that one, it's felt a little bit more forced on Onyx's side in the last maybe 15 minutes, 3 or 4 points, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these Tempest throws, like that deep one, they are getting a breath in between when they spot the cut and when they actually throw. But some of these times with Onyx, you know, Georgina in that last possession or Julia Sherwood sometimes, they get the disc and right away they're looking for that real big aggressive throw. And, yeah, exactly, Greta, good dig out. Oh, Morgan off the bounce and then a quick find.
That's what it's felt like today, right? Like everything just isn't happening easily. It's like they have to fight for it.
Yeah. And a pick call downfield. That might have been Morgan Zajon, but either way, we should get a resumption pretty soon here.
So 6 minutes left. The clock definitely starting to be an enemy of the Onyx. But knocking on the doorstep there. It's a good position to have Greta in.
Yeah, and
oh man,
rough.
It's just been tough to find an option for Onyx, even whether it be like on a swing or just finding an option has been hard. And credit to Seattle's defense.
Yeah, and I mean Morgan Zajon had an incredible season last year, but they've had a bit of the Onyx have had a bit of difficulty finding Morgan in the end zone. You can see that.
Finding your players in threatening positions.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that hesitation maybe sometimes of like, well, I see that they're half stride open. Is that really enough? You know, sometimes you just got to go for those plays, though.
So there's a gift.
With the circumstances.
From Tempest, because they were working it just absolutely gorgeously. But it just was a little yo outside, you're outside, kept going outside.
Oh, Greta going deep to Reyna.
Wide open.
She's got it. Woo! The spike. What a great cut from Reyna. Now Greta running down the field to give their teammate a big bump. Yes.
I don't think Zevi could do that. I really, really don't think Zevi could do that.
Great forehand by Greta. Beautiful placement. Well aware of her teammates' capabilities.
So,
and
again,
Reyna comes through.
Momentum back in Onyx's court. 4 points down again, but it doesn't feel as big as it was just like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and again, though, just like, you know, Onyx making it hard on themselves. It's just that thing. Like, if we had a fifth quarter, you know, like, they could pull it back.
Well,
but now
we were
the
in
clock
the seventh
is
quarter
there.
earlier today.
Yeah.
And so maybe there is an extra quarter or two. We'll see.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy right now, and certainly would love to be able to force an overtime period. They forced the forehand. There's the forehand. Beautiful flow.
Not quite in.
Yeah, not quite in. We'll have to find one more.
Onyx has been good on recovery defense today, I got to say.
Quick little swing.
Oh, and that's a
Oh,
commentator's
yeah.
curse. God, I won't say that next time.
Yeah, that's all right. Great interplay, though, once again. I believe that was Caitlin Rolling who was the one who got downfield. Needed a quick little dump to get the ball back, but then able to then end up finding number 14, Rodenberg. And great just red zone play there from Tempest, not panicking when the stall count was rising, just giving it a quick dump and then a swing back to that player.
They're looking like the
finding
champs,
the target
for sure.
Yeah, right.
As we go into like crunch time.
Yeah.
Score 15-11 right now. It's we'll get that updated as quickly as we can. There we go. 15-11. Tempest is up.
And Seattle did lose to Arizona last weekend, 17-15. But yeah, you mentioned the returning champs, and they've been playing very strong here today, showing their caliber.
Oh man,
Oh.
that was just some really great defense from Abby Hecko, getting down there quickly, shuffling up the first option, and then miscommunication on Portland's end. And you know that feels a bit like what it is, like 4 points difference between a team that's been together, stayed together, has those doesn't have those miscues, right? Or at least sometimes doesn't have those miscues.
Must have been a traveling call. I don't think it was a stall, but do have the possession changing over here to Onyx. And a little floaty there, but good swing by Onyx. And then now interplay back to Merle Hammond.
Wow. Yeah, that was a lot of contact. You know, if I was handling this, I'd say that was a foul. Looks like the mark agrees.
Yeah, Merle with the disc back, gets it over to Greta. She was maybe looking at Reyna, making a diagonal cut there. Wow, great snag by Kimber Coles. On her knees, pulls up, and then beautiful toss downfield.
That got me jazzed up. I'm not going to lie.
And Merle Hammond coming back from some injuries, but playing today. Beautiful connection there from Kimber Coles. As we see the replay there, Kimber pulls it down and then immediately finds her teammate. What a toss. Onyx needs more of that for sure.
There's not many better feelings in Ultimate than like getting a really nice catch, you know, maybe a layout, maybe slide on your knees. And you get that catch, and then you just snap it down the field on a rope to your teammate. It's really fun. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
You should try it. You know, all our viewers at home who have never watched Frisbee before, maybe. Ultimate Frisbee, it's a fun sport.
Yeah, and wherever you're watching from, I'm sure there's some good local programs. In Portland, they have like seasonal leagues that are real casual. Winter League just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Heading into springtime.
My team lost. It was pretty sad.
You know, it turns out,
wow, Grace Olson.
Turns out
the Maryland phenom looking for highlight moment there at the end of the game.
And good control, though, from Seattle here. Maintaining possession.
I mean, Grace has definitely been in these moments before. That's big. Grace has definitely been in these moments before. She's a, you know, high school, a youth national scene gal. That would have been crazy. That bid that Grace had.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Wonderful pressure from Onyx, though. That does allow them to close this gap a bit here.
They're doing everything they can to get back in the game.
Good passes here, playing a bit more confidently for sure. Julia Sherwood has the disc.
Good spot to have Julia Sherwood with the disc.
Finds Jung. Now the floater to Snyder.
Got a little greedy.
Yeah. A little bit floatier and maybe closer, and she could have ran onto that. A good attempt, though, and I think that everything except for the last throw there was really clean by Onyx.
When you're living those moments, you're feeling so great, weaving around with your friends, and then just a tiny bit out of the way. You know, it's tough.
Yeah.
But great motion from Onyx.
Oh, and they're gonna get the disc back.
Let's give it back. Let's get it back. Why not?
Quick
Let's
pickup.
give it right back to him.
And Birthday Girl making another cut for it. We're going to get a swing around. Oh, no. Unfortunate. Going to be in and out of Julia Sherwood's hands. Bit of a call, though. That's under discussion.
Looks like there was a call from the cutters cutting for the disc on the, what is that? The live side of the field. There's a live side cutters.
Yeah, and Tina Snyder maybe got picked or bumped into there. I know they were running around aggressively. And, yeah, maybe a touch of contact.
Just a quick break here. With this time, any Onyx fans out there? Got a beautiful Instagram page. Welcome to the quarry.
Yeah.
Wonderful outfits. Wonderful people running that thing. Go check it out.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny too. I mean, just a good, rock joke.
Yeah. Yeah, always welcome.
I know I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So this is big. I don't know how this happened, but here we are with the disc.
I mean, I feel like a good pun is quite the gem, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly. It's a gem.
It's a gem. Onyx, though, looking to score here. Oh!
Through the wickets. Through both wickets.
Yeah, Jung with a laser fire, but Snyder, unfortunately, able to really get the hands firmly on that disc.
So now time is beyond the enemy. Time is hurting. Time is hurting the Onyx right now.
Another one of these quick bombs from Seattle.
And that's got to be pretty demoralizing for Onyx in that, okay, now we have to go work the whole part of the field again with very little time left.
I mean, again, it's one of those, great job getting 1 foot in there by Eva Pope.
It was like an NFL San Antonio home situation.
There's Julia Sherwood.
That one's true. That one is true.
Oh man.
Thought it was there.
Shannon Mouse Donahue not quite able to sneak her way onto that one, but it was a good throw.
Perfectly placed. She was trying to make her get it on a highlight tape,
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to make her look good.
And 50 seconds left here, and we'll see if we get any highlight-worthy plays out of this bit of time. Again, good job by the Seattle player keeping that in bounds. Looks like we will have a timeout, though. Player's been on the field for quite a bit.
Hey, so that, if you're Onyx, you got to feel like this point is at least a bit of a win in that it's been a fight. They fought all the way down the stretch, and they're fighting to the last second of this game, and that's commendable in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this game overall, it stings to have lost those 2 games this last weekend and then lose another game. But at the same time, they're playing against the defending champs here.
And Arizona has looked, in some instances, like the perennial favorite this year.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona got the dub against Seattle, so you have to take some comfort there of, like, maybe our schedule is just super stacked.
Right.
And, I mean, indeed, they did just play the top 3 teams besides themselves from last season. They just played Seattle, Arizona, San Diego. So, I mean, in that sense, they just had basically the toughest start that they could have in these first 3 games.
And, like, if I'm Mike Ferguson, if I'm Bobby Goff, I'm saying, hey, failure is learning. Failure is an opportunity to grow.
Right.
We've had a couple really close games, and we know, the things that we can control in those games and the things that we could do better. And it feels like there's enough of those that, you clean up a couple of those types of looks, a drop here, a drop there. We're looking at a different game.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And they've definitely overcome some adversity in this game. There it is. Nice connection. That's in. And that's going to be Claudia Tajima with the final touch on there. 25 seconds left. The scoreline pulled to a gap of 2.
Do you roll it out of bounds? Do you try and, trap them on a sideline?
Yeah, we haven't seen any roller pulls yet. I don't know.
You can't double team in the WUL, right?
No, I don't think that there's any
it's still like
rule against that. I think
USAU for the most part.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so no double teaming, but if I'm Onyx, I'm throwing out a junk, especially in the handler set. I'm making their handlers get rid of the disc.
Yeah, if they can get one more possession here, get a turn, get their hands on the disc before the clock hits 0, pull one back, and then again, I think that is that storyline here for Onyx today, overcoming adversity. And if they can pull it to within 1, you really got to take some positives from that.
Totally.
Oh, and there we are. That's that opportunity we were talking about, as Georgina closing the gap to the handler, creates some pressure, creates an opportunity for themselves. 10 seconds on the clock. And the hammer out here. Trout pulls it down.
Whoa! How did that person catch that? That was insane. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful pull down from Trout. I'm not sure, though, actually, if that's signaling the game. Yep, that is it. Game is over. Onyx don't end it quite as strong as they would have liked. At the same time, though, Trout with that beautiful pull down, and with Onyx getting some plays together towards the end here, they don't pull it within 1. 15-13 will be the final score. Seattle Tempest, your winner today. But Oregon Onyx, a strong performance nonetheless.
Yeah, they fought. They definitely did. And honestly, both teams just crushed the whole game. It was very, very physical.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, really just comes down to a couple small moments, you know. This is one break away, is one way to look at it, 15-13. And there's so many things that you could point out at this game. Say, well, this one little connection got a little bit away from us, a drop pass,
right?
So close. And I think Onyx will just go back into the lab, tighten some of these connections.
Right, tighten some of the screws, work a couple of things. And, Seattle's got to feel very confident. But the Western Ultimate League is alive and well. That is for sure.
Yeah, certainly. And Onyx, tough start to the season with this really stiff schedule. They go to 0-3. This is just their first game against a conference opponent. They have a new opponent in the form of Colorado Alpenglow, which might be the next team that they're playing in 2 weeks, April 2nd. So we hope that you guys join us again for that, as well as watching the Onyx away games that will be coming up in the meantime. Only 3 home games this season. So it will be that one April 2nd and then another May 5th.
Get on to Providence Park. It's a special atmosphere. We'll see you there.
Yep. We're figuring out where it'll be, if it'll be here, if it'll be at Providence Park. But appreciate the support of the Portland crew so much. Appreciate our production staff as well. Thanks so much, Lillian Weaver, running things, the whole production. Keali McCarter on camera.
Tyge Deluxe, shout out.
Yeah.
Kyle LaMontagne.
There we go.
Thanks for stepping in.
And any final words from you, Jack Carroll?
I'm just so happy to be here. It's such a blast, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Sunday. And go throw a disc. It's got to fire you up, right? Go throw the disc. Get better.
Yeah, get better. Shout out
me.
to Tina Snyder, blowing out the candles. She got them all.
Oh, yeah, happy
She's
birthday,
getting
Tina.
Birthday gift, too. And, yeah, once again, thanks so much for everybody for joining us. We really appreciate the viewership, the support. Western Ultimate League out here doing cool stuff. And, of course, Oregon Onyx, Seattle Tempest, some of the teams in this league trying to just keep pushing Ultimate further. So that'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Eckstein, and we will see you next time.
Later.